Hello everyone, this is Justin. In this tutorial, I'm going to tell you how to texture your custom block and also add some function to customize your block. And my tutorial, it will work for Minecraft 1.5.1 and 1.5.2. So let's begin with the texture first. So go to your MCP folder. You can see you have a folder named temp. Inside of temp, go to bin, Minecraft, and then you'll see textures right here. And then go to textures, you will see blocks and items. For the block textures, of course, is in the folder of blocks. So these are the default textures for your Minecraft, and you can just simply copy it and customize it whenever, whichever program that you want to, using Photoshop, Pen.net, or Microsoft Pen. That's your choice. And I'm just telling you, here's the place that you can find the base mod for your textures. And okay, so I go back to let's go to SRC Minecraft. And then you will see mods. This is the mods, the texture for our mods that we created last tutorial. So go to mods, and this is your customized name folder. And then mine is called Justin. And inside of Justin, you should have textures in small case, and remember the S. And then inside of textures, you have blocks and items. Items is empty because we don't have any item textures for now, but we have some of the new textures that we'll be using. So here's the texture that we used last time, pink essence. But now we have a couple more from the picture name 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And also we have one called pink ice. So I will tell you what these all means, but just keep in mind that we have these new textures. So go to your main class. In my main class, I already created another 2 blocks to save some time, which are called texture display 1 and texture display 2. And they are already registered in the game, and also they have their in-game name. So, okay. From here, the declaration line, they are actually a little bit different than the tutorial that we did last time. The only 2 difference, is that I didn't delete this power 2 material inside of my block.class, so I have to write down material dot whatever in a parenthesis after my ID, which is different than here. So that wouldn't affect anything, and I already explained it last time, so let's keep going. And the other thing is that we register our block texture into the unlocalized name last time, which is the folder Justin, and inside of the folder Justin, we are looking for a block texture, and that will be located in blocks, and that's called pink essence, the PNG file. And Minecraft only loads PNG files, so you don't need to declare the .png file name. But for these 2, I didn't declare anything right here. The purpose of that is actually telling you that if sometimes that you don't want to register your texture in the main class, that's fine. You can do it in the block class. And also, there's a lot of time that you may want to register a multi-texture block. So the set unlocalized name wouldn't do that for you. So you will have to register your block inside of the block.class. Okay, so for now, I'm just going to import my material. Import material, name Minecraft.block.material. Okay, I just want to show you that you have to import it, otherwise it wouldn't work. Alright, let's get back to here. So as you can see, I already added something called list.setHardness. Okay, let's delete that and then start it over again. This is my block texture display 1. For all the functions that you need for your block, you can add under the super line by simply typing list.set, and there's plenty of functions that you didn't add, and you can add whatever you want. You can have the light value, hardness, creative tab, or unbreakable, which is only for bedrock, but you can also add that as a harvest level. That means nothing can break it except creative mode. So we can simply by doing set hardness, right, and just click on it, or you can type it, and remember that you have a parenthesis that you need a power 1, which is a value in the parenthesis. So I'm just going to delete the power 1. So we're going to add an actual value inside of it, and give it a semicolon in the end for the line to end the line. So inside of the parenthesis, hit your control and then click block right here. It will take you to name Minecraft block.block, which is the block.java for your Minecraft, and all the blocks are here. You can see, okay, for a simple stone or for a sapling or whatever, for the hardness, it has to have a number, even though it's a 0 means like it's a sapling hardness, means you can destroy it by your bare hand with just left click it one time, and that's not what we want. We want your block being a little bit difficult than destroy to destroy. So we need a value which has an F in the end. So for a stone, the hardness is 1.5F. For a let's just say for a ore iron, it's a 3.0F right here. So you can just kind of compare like how hard you want your block to be. So for this one, we can just simply by adding whatever. I like 2.0F. That sounds legit. Okay. So yes, we have our hardness for our texture block texture display one. And also you can set this that hardness thing in your main class also. You can do, see here, there's a set resistance I already did. Let's delete that for a second. You can do this whatever you want. You can do this right here, you can do this right here, or no, you cannot do this before the declaration of the extension block. But for usually people put their set on localized name to the end at the end of the declaration line. So you are going to say like dot set what resistance, yes, resistance, and then it needs a part 1 too. The part 1 is a value that will determine how hard how strong the block can stand in explosion. So for instance, like a dirt, when a TNT or a creeper explodes, obsidian will not be exploded or destroyed because it has a really high resistance for blast radiation for the explosion, right? So we can go back to block.java and find whichever block that you prefer. Let's just say stone. Stone has resistance of 10.0 F, so it still needs an F. You can view that as a unit if you want to. It's a float. So we can do I don't know, I would do probably 8.0 F. That's okay. I mean, you can play with the number if you know. So yeah, I just want to show you that you can also place your set resistance right here, or set hardness, or set whatever, set creative tab in your main class. But sometimes I like to play all of them inside of the block.class. And the reason why, the only thing that differs these two, wherever place that you place it, it doesn't really matter. But let's just say that like you have two blocks that share the same block.class. So whichever code that you put inside of the class will apply to both of the blocks. But sometimes you want them just a little bit different. But yes, just a little bit different. Maybe you want them have different resistance. So by that time, you have to set your resistance inside of your main class outside of the block.class. Okay, I hope that was clear. So now we are going to do registering our texture for single texture, which means one texture for 6 sides. And as you can see, we can do this right here, but there's also other method that you can do. So I want to show all of them to you. All of them that I know to you. So first thing you have to go, well, you don't have to go, but you want to go at site only, which is an annotation that must have a method comes after, and then site.client in capitalized. And this is an annotation saying that you're wrong because you don't have a method yet. So after we create a method after our annotation, you will show up the underlying thing that you can import, or you want to type in the import right here. It's okay. So I'm just going to highlight it for you if you want to type in right now, but it's okay if you don't. So I'm gonna delete that so we will see something after. Okay, you don't need to delete that. You don't even have that yet. So we can do public void register icons. Remember the S, it has to be there. The first time I did this, I didn't know that it was an S, and then it kept giving me a arrow. So that's it. That's why. Go inside of parentheses, type icon register, and it has to be icon register, nothing else. And you are going to give a name for your part 1. I'm going to go by default. That means part 1 icon register. Okay, and then squiggly bracket, of course, and then extends it out, and import your site only, and then you have this. Import your site, it will have this. Okay, so here's the import, and you want to do list dot block icon, not ID, icon, equals to your part 1, whatever you type for your part 1, and I'm just going to copy it and paste, equals to part 1 icon register dot register icon. It will show up. If it didn't, you just type in register icon. And then now you need to, you see here, it's a parenthesis that has a string up in it. So you do parenthesis. And then for the string, you are gonna go quotation marks. Inside of quotation marks, you need to go the customized folder that you name for. For me, it's right here. It's called Justin. You know, inside of your mods, it's called Justin. So okay, you go Justin, and then you give it a column, which means okay, this is a block. So I'm going to search in textures blocks. So for this one, I'm going to go the file name, which is called pink ice, which is this thing right here. And yeah, we don't need the PNG once again. And then give a semicolon in the end. So now, if you go inside of your Minecraft, you will see that our block texture display 1 will have a pink ice texture, which is on 6 sides, all of them. All right. So let's do the multi-texture right now. Go to, you don't need to go anywhere. I mean, this is a block texture display 2. So for this one, I'm going to tell you how to set your multi-texture for your block. And there are actually maybe like 2 ways to do it, but basically they are the same. And well, when they have the same idea, it's just a different code that you put in. I mean, different method for your integer. So now we are going to do the same thing. Let's review a little bit. Do add site only. This will reduce your chance to crash your Minecraft. Public void register icons, and then go icon register, give it a part 1 name, and then squiggly brackets, extends it out. Okay, it's already imported, so we don't bother. So now, outside of the method, or inside of it, I mean, I prefer outside, okay? Do private icon, and then this is going to create an icon array. I mean, I don't know how many textures that you want to put on, but I'm going to put it to the maximum, which is 6. So give your icon array a name. I'm going to call it a I don't know, textures, and it is equal to an icon, I mean new, and an icon array which has 6 pictures, I mean 6 textures. Okay, so give it a semicolon. So the private means that you can only load it in this class, and this is an icon array's name, which is called textures, and it is equal to 6, which means you can have it from 0 to 5. So yeah, 0 to 5 are 6 numbers. So let's go first. Textures, right? That's the name that we gave it to, right here, and then give it a square bracket, and then put 0 in it, and it is going to equal to your part 1, and then dot, oops, my bad, dot register icons, and then as we did for the folder and what picture, so this is going to be 0. 0 is the picture of this one, which has a giant 0 on it. Yes, so give it a semicolon in the end, and yes. So copy this line and then paste it. If you have 3, you paste it 3 times. You have 4, you place it 4 times, and I have 6, so I have to have 6 lines. So now we are going to change our icon array from for the numbers. For icon array with 0 is going to give you picture 0. So for 1 it's going to give me picture 1. picture 2, picture 3, picture 4, picture 5, which are 6 in total. And then 2, 3, oh, crap. 4 and 5. Okay. We're not done yet. So we already register 6 pictures in our game, but we have to tell the system that when to use this. I mean, in what kind of situation. So we have to verify that on which side we are going to use our textures. So we do outside of here. We can do add, override, and then public icon, get icon, and then inside of your parentheses you do int, which means integer, part1, and then common int part2. So part1 and part2, I believe that means the direction of the block. So you need to give it a squiggly bracket too, hit enter, it will extend it for you, and then yes. So we are going to go 2 different methods. I mean, I will show you 2 different methods and which do exactly the same thing. So we start from the basic, I mean the easier one. So we do if method. Well, there are actually 3 ways I know, but yes, I'll show you later. You do if, so give it a parenthesis, which will create a condition for your if method. So you do part1 equal to 0. And give it a squiggly bracket, which means the place for your return of if method. So we return textures icon array 0 semicolon. So we are going to copy this and paste it a couple times. And as you can see, when our part1 equals to 1, of course I'm going to give it 1, and you just replace all the numbers with the right textures registry. So I'm going to do it until 4. The reason why I stop at 4 is because it's an if method, so you have to have a else return statement, which means this statement will be true when the situation is not applied for all of the above. So you do else and then squiggly bracket, of course, and then you do return. Return textures. Oh, I always have problems spell that. 5. Okay, so I think everyone understands how the if method works. So for now, we're actually good. If you go to the go inside of Minecraft, you will see 2 blocks, which is the block texture display 1 and block texture display 2. And for the display 1, we have pink eyes for 6 sides, and then we have 0 to 5 for 6 different textures. And then I will tell you what all the part1 equals to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mean. So let's go now. Okay, I'm going to maximize it, and you can see we have the textures registered as texture display 1. Okay, so it's a solid block which has 6 sides textures, so it's working well. For the second one, that's our display 2. So for display 2, you can see if you put down your block, you will see 0 is equal to bot, and 1 is the top, 2 is the back, 3 is the front, and then 5 is the right, left is 4. So yes, but you might notice that what if I turn 90 degrees right here? After I place it, it's going to be like the same. 5 is always equal facing this way, and 1 is always facing that way, no matter what. So the reason why, so you can, as you can see, it's not always about the place that you place down. It's about the relative positions of your textures. So you can see, let's put up F3. which means the coordinates. When I'm facing this way, walking that way, the z coordinates is changing. So you have to figure out that, okay, what are the response direction of all the textures. So when I go to like the back, which is 2, you can see 2 is right here, 2. When I go there, it's decreasing the z position. So which means this is a minus z, and this is minus, increasing z. And for 4 and 5 is going to be, when you go to 4, it's going to decrease your x. For going to 5, it will increase your x. And for 1 and 0, it's going to decrease your y and increase your y. So yes, that's how you recognize the facing direction of your texture. And let's get out. So as you can see, all the multi-texture of course is working, and the only reason why it's a little bit weird is because we register like 6 textures, so you have to figure it out whether it's decreasing y or increasing y, or for z and x also. And of course, if you only want to make like a top texture and the bottom texture and side textures, which are 3 in total, you just cut out, you make them only have 3 for your icon array, and then you delete the rest of the 3, 4, 5, and then you will make it like, okay, when equals to bot, which is 0, I'm going to give you 0, which means the textures right here. And then when it equals to 1, which is the top, I'm going to give you this texture. And else for the sides, I'm going to do the else method right here, and then do, okay, what is my else textures. So okay, put it back to 6, otherwise you'll crash us. Also, this is how it works. So before we leave, I want to tell you one more thing that's about a little bit of Java and also here. So I'm going to delete all the stuff that we just created. For return statement, we can do return, and then we can do when our power1 is equal to. The first equal means yes, and then the second equal means equal, so it means it's equal. So you will do power1 is equal to 0, right? And when yes, the question mark means yes. When yes, I'm going to give you textures 0, and then you do a semicolon after that, which means, okay, when this statement is not true, when power1 is not equal to 0, I'm going to give you another question, which is power1 equal to 1. And when yes, okay, I'm going to do textures 1. And then if and the question keep going, so you have to do, okay, so it's not 1, it's not 0, so I will keep asking you, okay, is texture going to be, is power1 equals to 2? And if it's true, and I'm still going to give you textures 2. So you can figure it out yourself, right? So let's keep going. And then if not, I have to ask you another question, which is power1 equals to 3. And then if yes, I'm going to do texture and then do 3. If no, I have to ask you, okay, if it's equals to 4. If not, if yes, textures is going to be 4. Otherwise, it's not 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so it has to be 5. So it's going to give us 5. And this. So you will see this statement replace all the if method that we just did, and that's quite long. So sometimes you want it to be a little bit shorter. Then this is probably the shortest way to do it. And of course, you can also do a switch method, but I don't prefer that. There's no reason to do that because things is not really reducing the length of your code. So yes, it does the same thing. It works. It's the same thing that we just saw. Okay, cool. Let's exit, quit game. So I think that's pretty much for today. I will show you how to do a semi-transparent block for the next tutorial. See you.